Hi Scorpio! Welcome to your March 2019 astrology and tarot reading mid-monthly. So Scorpio, now, how have we been handling Mercury retrograding in Pisces? Because for some Scorpios, this has drudged up a lot of past emotions when it comes to romance, when it comes to children. For others, it's kind of been more of a family thing. It's more been people that you lived with, people that you went to school with, that type of thing. It really depends on you and what degree you're at in your birth chart, etc. But Scorpio, the mid-monthly to the end of March is a pretty interesting one. For one, we have the sun going into Aries on the 20th, which brings focus to your routines, your diet, your self-care, your wellness, all these interesting energies. Beautiful for the astrological new year because you get this real refresher. It's a great time on the 20th to set your astrological new year resolutions, what you want to achieve in your health goals. Uranus has finally left that side of the sky for a lot of Scorpios, so it's a great time to really kickstart a new fitness routine, a new healthy diet, that type of thing. It's all going to be very important. On the same day, we have a full moon, a super moon actually, in Libra. This is going to illuminate your inner sense of self, your inner peace, what lurks within. With Mercury retrograde in your romantic sector, you know, it could be a brilliant time for closure on old relationship ghosts, old fears, old illusions, past people that have returned just to be useless, I suppose is a better way to put that. I'm a Scorpio myself, and actually there was a couple of messages I received from people from the past that really were very unprovoked and quite unkind. So I think sometimes maybe people are coming back to really, really expose themselves. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully not literally. Anyway, so Mars is trining Pluto on the 20th too. So your rulers, your ancient and your traditional ruler are trining, which is gorgeous, Scorpio, because they're giving you this divine support. With the 12th house energy, bear in mind this full moon, super moon, soulmates may appear, connections deepen, and things might move really very quickly. Don't forget, we still have Mars in your connection and partnership sector until the 31st. So new chemistry and kindred spirits, and you know, your relationships may solidify and get 10 times more intense and deep and beautiful and dreamy. The very next day, Mars does square Venus, so you might find these very deep connections quite hard to understand, which isn't typical of your sign, but some of you might want to run away from it because Venus is in Aquarius, making you possibly want to hide out at home. Maybe your partner wants to go out and you don't want to go out, or maybe you want to meet somebody but you want to meet them in your living room. I don't know. The thing is, when your two rulers are trining, it is so beautiful. And yes, the next day one of your rulers does square off with the planet of love, but that will just unearth some insecurities within yourself, because a few days later Venus enters Pisces and there will be romantic fireworks, a lot of making up to do for some Scorpio couples, romance, chivalry. But the same day that Mars squares Venus, actually, just to be an optimist here, Venus does connect with Jupiter, which brings wonderful financial news. So if you can concentrate on the good, Scorpio, the optimism, I guess, it's a very, very beautiful sky. This whole month has actually been very beautiful in terms of romance for Scorpio. So if you're not feeling it yet, bear in mind by the end of the month, things may really, really, really take off for you, especially if you are a middle to late degree Scorpio. Things may be really very intense. 5 of Pentacles. You've been feeling out in the cold with your finances or somebody. Some of you have been rejected. Some of you have gone through a breakup because you're beginning a brand new chapter. Yes, brand new Scorpio energy. You're becoming a brand new person. You're transforming to another level. You're transcending. You're breaking through barriers. You're finding your truth. You're finding the words that you want to say to express yourself. And there's a 2 of Cups moment. Someone you can talk to. Someone you can really communicate with. Interesting. Hermit. Some of you are taking a break from love, though. Some of you are kind of closed off from it. Because the wheels are changing. Okay, Scorpio. So a couple distinctive themes going on here. Some of you are in relationships with Virgos, actually, because the Hermit doesn't necessarily mean that you're staying single or anything. But for some of you, there's a very strong... Now, this could be true for Scorpios that have Libra in them. Or Pisces even. There is a very strong fear of being alone. And it is restricting you massively. Because what you resist will persist. Hermit, Four of Pentacles. As suspected by the Mars-Venus square, there could be an argument with a current relationship about whether to go out or stay in for a lot of you. Because Venus in the 4th house, Venus in Aquarius, can make Scorpios notoriously more introverted. You don't want to go out as much. You want to stay in with your partner, or you want to stay in on your own. But then coincidentally for a lot of you, there's a fear of being alone. Okay, so let's begin with the 5 of Pentacles and the Fool. Somebody took you for a ride. For some of you, this was relatively recent. For some of you, it's going back a while, and Mercury retrograde just drudged it up. Somebody took you for a fool and left you out in the cold quite suddenly. For a lot of you, it was kind of that I just need to be single conversation from somebody else. And that to you was like, no. The reason, Scorpio, that you're having these kind of relationships, if you are, is because the Death in the Hermit is that you are very, very, very worried about being by yourself or being alone forever, that you resist it so much. Now, the thing is, if you try and rush a relationship forward, it's not because you like the person. It's actually because they represent something to you that you want in your life. Connections that are true and authentic take time, and Scorpios are notoriously famous for having their guard up. And therefore, when you have a Scorpio that tries to rush something on, you know there's a problem. Because it's supposed to come down gradually as somebody proves yourself. Yet in my experience, the many Scorpios that I know can be very, very, very different to that. They can rush right in, heart on sleeve. And it's not necessarily because they like the person. It's actually because they feel like they should be at a certain place in their life. If you do not sort through that, and Venus squaring off with Mars and then Mercury being retrograde in your love sector, Scorpio, is giving you a beautiful opportunity to understand yourself better. If you keep resisting that and you keep feeling to go inward and really think about these emotions and why they're coming up, what they mean, and what your perception is, you're doomed to repeat things. What's wonderful, though, about this for many Scorpios, the Ace of Swords and the Two of Cups to me looks like a romantic connection based on wits, based on communication, based on not taking somebody else's BS. A relationship where you know where you stand for a lot of Scorpios is actually very, very, very prominent in March. Someone you can communicate with. For a lot of you, I think it is another fixed sign, an Aquarius, a Leo, a Taurus, or a Scorpio. For some of you, it's a Libra. But some level of karmic justice is being undone. So something is coming to an end in terms of a cycle. Do you know what I mean? Like a negative pattern, a negative repetition is being sorted out by the universe. All you have to do is figure out how you feel about it. That's all you have to do. Because even under this, Judgment, okay, and even under that, the Emperor, that Mars-Pluto connection here, do you see this? Where you want to make your own judgment call and somebody else is telling you you can't. Who's the domineering voice in your life that is telling you what to do? For some of you, it could be an Aries. I know for me, as a Scorpio, a call out of the blue from an Aries was a very unfortunate conversation because they were coming in being very, very angry and controlling. which was odd. You know, it had absolutely no reason behind it, but that's an experience that I had as a Scorpio. Maybe for some of you it's the same. The Emperor, Aries, Justice, Libra, War and Peace. Okay. Why is that significant, this war and peace dynamic? Some of you have been going through life as though you've been doing battle, and the universe wants to switch gears, okay? Wants to switch gears. That's Uranus for you. That is Uranus, the revolutionary, going into your partnership sign in a fixed energy. The fixed signs have a different idea of how to do things now. The fixed signs are having a shift up in energy, and it's good. Okay, you're releasing controlling elements in your life because you are in some way, and a lot of Scorpios won't want to admit this, but a lot of Scorpios seem to be a slave to somebody else's opinion or somebody else's desire or the way somebody else is living. If you did a hermit moment, if you had a hermit moment, if you went inward and you thought, I don't need to be at this point that somebody else is because my life path is different and my life path is unique, and I accept that and I'll figure that out as I go. If you're placing your blueprint on somebody else's life, Scorpio, you're doomed to failure. If you seek inspiration from the people that you want to be in a similar place from, you know, I always say, don't take advice from somebody you wouldn't switch places from. I learned that, I think, the very end of last year, and I thought to myself, in a lot of cases, I was going to people for advice that were in no better situation than I was, and I thought that's not right. Because Scorpios can be notoriously, when they're not in a happy place, Scorpios can be very jealous of others. So they can avoid people that are doing well. And you need to cut that out. You need to go straight to the source of people that are doing well and ask them, what's your secret? If you want to get married, ask people that are in happy marriages. Don't ask your single friends. If you want to start your own business, ask your friends that have their own business. Don't ask people that are working in a job they hate. That sounds so simplistic, but people so fail to do it. You're revolutionizing yourself, Scorpio. You're breaking free of something very, very restrictive or someone very, very restrictive. Okay? For some of you, it's a codependent relationship with a father figure or a boss that needs to be liberated from. Okay? You need space from something or someone, Scorpio. If it's a marriage, things are changing dramatically with Uranus going into your marriage sector. Some of you are just going to suddenly get engaged. Some of you are just going to suddenly meet somebody and you're like, this is the person. But the difference is, Scorpio, if you always think that, your radar's off. Okay? Two of Cups and the Hermit. Some of you need to go on a break from relationships or whatever it is that's stressing you out, because you need to find your voice and you need clarity of thought. And for some of you, you will only get that from a bit of solitude. The Fool and the Death card, endings and beginnings. Because the Death card, yes, it represents endings, but as I was explaining in the Pisces reading, a lot of the time death isn't an ending, it's just simply a transformation. Because in spirituality, people believe a lot of the time, in most religions, in most cases, that death is just moving to somewhere else on a spiritual level. And tarot is all about spiritual levels. Okay, astrology is all about spiritual levels. The Fool and the Death card, paradoxical. New beginnings and shedding an old skin, which is what Scorpio so commonly does. Now, there's a woman on YouTube, and I don't know if you've ever seen her. She's an Aquarius, actually, but she's called, I think it's Shalyn. Shalyn Leister or Lester. She's really good. She's really interesting. I think some people would like her. I've recommended her to a few people. She just talks about different people's relationships and things in a really, really interesting way. But she was explaining in her video about being warm-blooded animals apart from cold-blooded animals. And I was just thinking that Scorpio, in some cases, is represented by the snake, which is a cold-blooded animal. And it needs to rely on its environment to live. It doesn't come from within. So she said that about the snake, but I'm just thinking about that in terms of Scorpios. What that is actually that when a Scorpio is in that mode, you're relying on everything from the outside to feel alive and to feel fulfilled. And you can't do that anymore. You know? Be more like the eagle, where you can take off at any minute and soar and see things from a higher perspective. Be like the phoenix, where when everything's crumbling around you, you know that you're going to emerge from the ashes as this beautiful fiery bird. Scorpios are honorary fire signs. Some of you have been out in the cold for far too long. And I don't know if it's Uranus shifting gears that gives you more confidence in your body as well, you know, your physical strength. But you guys are breaking free. It's an end to some sort of karma. It's a shake-up. Some of you, yeah, you're getting engaged out of the blue. And people are like, what? Some of you have a real sudden meeting of love, a meeting of passion. Some of you go into greater commitments you've not experienced in a while. And some of you finally get that little thing that's been holding you back and you see it. Sekhmet, be strong. You're stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. Leo energy, although I was told that this also can represent Scorpio energy. So there's a Leo-Scorpio connection here, as we see in the Wheel of Fortune as well. So you could be dealing with Leos. The thing is, whatever sign you're dealing with, Scorpio, you need to be strong in your own skin. You're stronger than you think you are. Scorpios never know how strong they are until you put them in hot water. Yes, butterfly maiden transformation. You're experiencing enormous change right now, which brings great blessings. Butterfly. You are a butterfly. Prosperity and sorceress. So the universe is pouring its abundance to you. Be open to receiving. You're a magical person who can manifest your clear intentions into reality. So get manifesting, Scorpio. Have faith in the outcome. Figure it out. You're going to figure it out. You're going to have this beautiful Mars-Pluto trine. And it's lovely. If you do butt heads with the Aries, stand your ground. Enjoy it. Enjoy being right with whoever's challenging you this month. But be open to receiving. Be more open to receiving something new and something magical. 2 of Cups. 2 people that can call each other out in their BS are formidable. Make sure that's what you're looking for, Scorpio. So, love you guys. See you in the next set. Bye.